Hello and welcome to another Minecraft video. Today we are going to be talking about diamonds and diamond mining. I've come up with what I believe to be the best method for mining diamonds in Minecraft right now. And I'm going to show you how that method works and talk a little bit about why it works. So this is a little test world that I've created here, and I've done a little bit of modification to the area. Nothing with the ore generation itself though. So basically what I did is I took a 20 by 20 chunk by 20 chunk area, so 400 chunks, and I took out all of the extra blocks. I replaced water with blue glass, cave air with yellow glass, lava with red glass, and everything else with just regular glass. So actually I'm flying through a bunch of glass right now. But I left all of the diamond ore exactly as you see it right now. Oh, and I replaced bedrock with glowstone so that I could see. If you just want to skip ahead to what the method actually is and how to use it in your world, check the description below. I'll put a timestamp there so you can skip right to the method itself, but for now we're going to talk about a little bit of the theory behind it. In Minecraft 1.16 and earlier, there's a chance for Minecraft to generate one diamond ore vein per chunk. A chunk is a 16 by 16 area going all the way from Y level 0 up to Y level 256. And anywhere between Y level 0 and Y level 15 is where Minecraft may generate one diamond ore vein. It will never generate more than one, but it can sometimes generate 0 if the vein itself gets overwritten by lava or air or some other ore or something like that. And this concept of only ever having one ore vein per chunk is the main influence in this method here, because what we're doing is when you mine out a chunk to check and see if that chunk had any diamonds in it, you can, as soon as you find diamonds, you can then move on to the next chunk because you know that there aren't going to be anywhere diamonds in the chunk that you're currently mining in. Now I tried out a lot of different methods and theories for mining diamonds. The method that I'm going to show in this video here is the best method for late game Minecraft. It requires efficiency 5 pickaxes, as well as a beacon, actually multiple beacons for it to be as effective as possible, one with haste 2 and one with speed 2 as well. I do have other methods that are more suitable to not having beacons, so I can show those if people are interested in them, but this is the best method that I was able to come up with. Now I wanted to talk a little bit about rates as well. One of the main things I use for a comparison for this video is Ilmango's video regarding tunnel boring system and mining with giant tunnel bores. In that video, he shares some numbers for mining, which I think the numbers, just the general mining numbers, were boosted a little bit. I don't personally experience that high of returns using the methods that he's talking about. I think he may have been using more of a highest possible chance from those methods. But the one that I want to talk about most is the figures he used for the tunnel bore. He stated in that video that you could expect up to 300 ore per hour using a tunnel bore system. And that's an incredible amount of diamonds. But I think he was a little bit disingenuous with the way that he discussed that, because he made it seem like the tunnel bore system that he was showing that was, I don't know, roughly 250 blocks long, was able to get that 300 ore per hour rate. But what he actually says as he's getting ready to state that figure is he gets 300 ore per hour using a tunnel bore system that is 1,000 blocks long that he had to set up and have multiple accounts logged in along the way to keep all the chunks loaded for it. So if you have a tunnel bore system that's 1,000 blocks long, not only do you have to have either multiple people or multiple accounts in order to operate that machine, you first have to build that machine, clear out the area for that machine. It's a huge process to get that set up to begin with, and then to fix it if anything goes wrong. And even then, you're hitting a maximum number of about 300 ore per hour. So let's bring that down to a more reasonable size. Let's say 250 block long tunnel bore. Still a massive tunnel bore, but it's something that you could feasibly build on your own, and you could run it on your own as well. So that's a quarter of the length, so you could expect a quarter of the return, so roughly 75 ore per hour with that tunnel bore system. And even still, you still have to build that tunnel bore system, which is still really big, and if anything breaks with it, you have to rebuild the whole thing. It's a whole lot of work to get to 75 ore per hour. This method that I'm going to show you today has matched that. Either at the end of the video, or I might actually be playing it right now, I will show a time lapse of me mining with this method, not even optimally. In this clip that I'm recording here, I did not have a speed 2 beacon on. I just had the haste 2 beacon, so you could actually go through this even faster. But I'm going to show a clip of me mining just in a random location on a server that I play on for my Let's Play series. In that clip, I mined for about 45 minutes, and I came out with 74 diamond ore. So it has the potential to beat or exceed a 250 block tunnel bore system without having to build a 250 block long tunnel bore. Actually, with that method and that clip, I believe I hit a little over 100 ore per hour as an average from that 45-minute session. All right, so I think that's enough talking about diamond ore generation and the method itself here. I'll go ahead and show now how this method actually works and how you can use it in your survival worlds. Okay, so as far as setting up the area for your mining operations, you are going to turn on chunk borders using the keyboard shortcut F3 and G to turn chunk borders on, and then you can see exactly where the chunks line up. This will work on Bedrock as well. You just can't turn on chunk borders, so you'll have to just do the math to figure out where the different borders of chunks will be. What you want to do is get right on the corner of a chunk here. So this blue line marks the corner of a chunk. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4 different chunks. And you're just going to pick 2 of them. It doesn't really make a difference where you're at. And you're just going to do this little pattern here and mine straight down like this. This is the safest way to mine straight down. And it gives you sky access for 2 different beacons, which is exactly what we need. And then looking at your coordinates on the left-hand side there, you're going to mine down to somewhere in the 30s. It doesn't really make a big difference where you put the beacons at. You just need to make sure that the beacons themselves are lower down than Y level 50. All right, so find your area, and then what you're going to do to set your beacons up. This is the fastest way to set up beacons that I've been able to find. Placed on TNT like this, you do just a border around the 2x2 area that you've set up. Place down 2 blocks there, and then do 2 on top. And then what I do is I block off one of them with stone, and then I jump up and put redstone down to activate the TNT, and then just pillar up with stone from that. That usually gives me enough time to get clear of the explosion so I don't take any blast damage. So something like that. You can mine back down, and then you've got a pretty big area for laying out your beacons. You'll have to mine out a little bit of extra area, but this gets most of the work done for you for your beacons. Then once you set that up, you then continue mining down. And you're going to keep mining until your position on the left side shows that you are standing on level 13. So if you look over here on the left, you'll see my Y level is 13. And the blocks we're going to start mining out is on Y level 14. That's where we're going to start mining. All right, so that's how you set everything up. I will go ahead now and cut over to a different world, and I'll show you exactly how to execute this method once you've got to this point. All right, so here we are now. We're finally ready to talk about how to actually execute this method. And this is the basic layout itself. So, all right, so as I said in the previous video, you're going to get yourself down so that you're standing on level 13 and looking at block level 14. And this is the pattern that you're going to make. So from wherever you're at, you go in 6 blocks on the side of the chunk. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's where you start. You break in by 1 block, and then you stand here and mine as far as you can reach. This is one of the things I try to do with this method, is to make it as easy to execute as possible so you can execute it as quickly as possible. So you don't have to count 5 blocks in. You just push right up to the next block. So if there were stone here, you push right up here, and you can mine out 5 blocks exactly. And then do the same thing for your second row, and then you're able to walk in, and that'll put you right here. Then you do it again. You mine 5 blocks this way, then you turn, mine 5 blocks this way, mine 5 blocks this way, and then mine as far as you can reach this way, which is just going to be 4 blocks. So each of those mining operations is just as far as you can reach. You don't have to do any counting as far as how many blocks you're supposed to go in. That'll get you this perfect square right around the middle of the chunk. And the first thing you're going to do once you complete this ring is mine out this top section here. So this will all have blocks on top of it. You mine out all of these. And then once you do that, then you go right over here to right where you came in at. And you're just mining out this top layer as much as you can reach. You don't need to stop and try to get every block. There are going to be some blocks left in the corners that you can't reach. Don't worry about trying to get every single block. Just mine out as quickly as you can, as much as you can. Then once you've completed that, you'll be back at where you came in at. You'll stand right here, right at this intersection here, and mine down again as far as you can reach. There's no counting you have to do to execute this method. It's always just as far as you can reach is how far you're mining. So you'll stand here, mine down 4 blocks. Make sure there's no lava that fills in after you mine those, and then you drop down, boop, and you do it again. You mine out the same area, the same middle area. So as far as you can reach this way, 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 mine out the center, mine out the outside, all the way around, and then you go down one more time. Again, as far as you can reach, which is going to be 4 blocks. Make sure there's no lava, drop down, do it one last time, and then you have mined out everything in the chunk. This doesn't give you a 100% chance of finding every diamond or vein that could possibly exist in this chunk, but it gives you a very high % chance to have found every diamond or vein that would exist in a chunk. So again, just to reiterate, when you're actually doing your mining, I put that up too high actually, whoops. But once you're actually executing the method, you're mining out this layer here, this layer here, and then finally this layer right here. So as you can see, the concept being that if you have diamond ore, most time diamond ore will spawn in as a 2x2x2 block for 8. Or some variation on that, but it'll mine out in a 2x2, or it'll fill in a 2x2x2 area, and there are no sections where a 2x2x2 chunk will actually be able to be hidden. So if the diamond or vein is here, then you'll be able to see it, or if it's here, you'll be able to see it, etc., etc. You know, any place that the diamond ore should spawn in, unless it doesn't spawn in a too high area, which is unlikely. Then you'll be able to see it. So, and now I guess I should also talk about how you move on from this. So once you finish mining out your chunk, you're going to be all the way down, standing on Y level 5, and then you're just going to take blocks and pillar back up to the tunnel that you made down. You'll be back up on the top here, and then you can mine off in any direction. So originally you had to count in to where you were supposed to start at. From here you can mine off in any direction. So say you just go this way, and then mine off in this direction and start mining out this chunk here. And that'll get you lined up just right where you need to be to start that next chunk. You can go in any direction. You can go this way as well. Each of them will get you to the right spot, and then you can start mining. With the way that the beacons are set up, you can mine in a 6x6 area around where those beacons are. So you can go out 3 chunks in every direction, and do, you know, those 9 chunks there. Now with this method, let's talk about time here. So if you have to mine out a full entire chunk, and you don't find the diamonds, or you don't find them until the very end, you should be able to get to a point where you can mine that out in less than 2 minutes. Even with haste 2 only as a beacon and not having speed, I'm able to get to the point where I can mine out an entire chunk in about 2 minutes, 2 minutes or less. So with speed, there shouldn't be any problems getting an entire chunk mined out in less than 2 minutes. And if you find the diamonds before that, then it's much quicker. You know, sometimes you'll be in a chunk for 10 or 15 seconds. You'll find the diamonds and you can move on to the next chunk already. All right, so I do believe that's everything that you need to know about this method. It's fairly straightforward to execute. Once you get going in a rhythm, you can really get through these chunks really quickly, and you can get a lot of diamonds coming in. As I said before, in one of my sessions that I was able to record, I was able to get over 100 ore per hour done. So it's the fastest method, I think, to actually obtaining diamond ore in Minecraft at this time. I believe I hit all the information. If you have any questions on anything, or if anything doesn't make sense, please let me know in the comments below. I'd be happy to answer any questions anyone has. If you have any methods that you think are better than this, I would love to hear about those as well. I'm always looking for more efficient ways to mine diamond, obviously. Or if you do use this method in any capacity and you have some personal experience with using it, let me know below as well. I'd like to know what your experience with this method was, how you found it, how well you were able to execute it, and what kind of returns you got from it. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this video here. If you did like the video, please leave a like. It really does help the channel out. And if you really liked it, please consider subscribing. I do have a Let's Play series that I do as well. So if you like this, perhaps check out some of my other videos like that, and you might like those as well. But either way, I do appreciate you watching this video, and thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.